Hello, this is Si Wing Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network. Welcome. The topic is, do you have $15,000 in cash and or $40,000 in your individual retirement accounts or the previous employer 401k? The only exception is not in your current 401k with your company you're working for right now. That is something you cannot liquidate unless and until you leave your company. All right, why do I choose this topic? Do you have 15K in cash or 40K in IRAs? Well, the reason is some of you perhaps I know many of my members, they have, of course, you have way more than $15,000 of cash. Some of you have $300,000 of cash laying around in your savings account, checking account, or in your stock market liquid account. Some of you, in terms of IRAs, especially when you work for an employer for like 10, 15, 20 years, you have probably have around, 400, 500, $600,000 in your IRAs located in wherever, Fidelity or Dreyfus funds or Charles Schwab or whatever the case may be, investing in, typically mutual funds, right? Yeah. So the reason I chose this topic, 15 grand in cash or $40,000 in IRA, is because, okay, a lot of those financial profiles with your I just mentioned many of you have a large amount of cash and IRAs available, but many of you have not purchased anything through my network, and I understand that. But however, for those of you who are maybe willing to pull the trigger, you may want to do it in a very minimal risk, if you will, right? The lowest risk possible. Well, the lowest risk possible is buy an investment property, and I'll show you more details momentarily, okay? Bear with me. Is to buy a $50,000 investment property with do 20 to 25% down payment, which equal to a measly 15 grand. Or buy a approximately $90,000 investment property using the name of your IRA, using a mere $40,000 of your total IRAs in down payment. Look, the reason why I'm using this minimal risk situation is because many of you, whether you have a lot of money, you have a little money, you get freaked out by having the thought of losing your pants or shirt, by losing your money, if you will, right? I mean, some of you are scared, to the extent whereby, what is my risk of loss? What if I buy property out of state and I'm going to lose my money? I'm going to totally go bankrupt, or I'll be homeless if this investment does not do well. Well, okay, I know I just painted a doom and gloom picture. All right, that's fine. But all I'm asking you is to risk 15 grand in cash for financing, or a measly minimal 40 grand in IRAs, right? So it's not going to break your bank. It's not you're not going to lose sleep over it. Well, some of you will. Some of you, the thought of losing $1 of your money freaks you out. I get it. Look, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Whether you have a lot of money, whether you have no money, whether you have very minimal financial resources. You know, everybody's situation is different, right? Every person is different. But a lot of my members who are located in San Jose, or most of my members, right, who are located in San Jose, California, the heart of the Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley have the most money. I think that it's the wealthiest city, well, in terms of housing, especially in the world, right? In the world, not just in USA. So I have to assume that many of you have lots of money. It's a matter of you can take a little bit, make a little bit of risk by buying something, starting off by buying a very low risk investment, like I'm about to show you, or some of you will buy a more expensive property, that we have in our network. That's doable, right? But a lot of you simply have not purchased anything. So for whatever reason, I don't know, because I have not had a chance to speak with you. But if I do speak with you, I understand your situation. What is your fear? What are the challenges you have? What are the internal obstacles that you may have that are preventing you from pulling the trigger? All right. So hence my topic of, do you have a 15 grand cash or 40K in IRA? Very minimal risk. To me, it's a no-brainer, right? To me, it's a drop in a bucket, right? 15 grand is nothing. I could earn that within 1 week or whatever in my business, or whatever. 40K. I mean, you work for a company for 1 year, you quit that company, then you probably have at least $40,000 rollover IRA you can do to buy real estate. Okay, it's to me it's just simple. Okay, right? That is okay. Maybe this is my mindset. Everybody's mindset is different. I get it. Anyway, all right. Okay, enough of that. Let's just finish up on this short presentation. So, do you have 15 grand in cash or 40K in IRS? Well, if you do, assuming you qualify for investment loan financing, I know some of you do not qualify for whatever reasons, but if you do qualify, it's an excellent way to leverage your property, right? So you have the ability to buy a $51,000 property, single family home, right? With a cap rate of 1.9%. I'm sorry, with a rent to value ratio of 1.9%, which is mind boggling, and a cap rate of 15.6%, and a cash on cash return of 37%, with a total return on investment of 44%. And you can see the performance by clicking on here. In fact, let me do this right now. All right. Actually, the best way to do this is to click on the preview instead. What am I thinking? All right. So look, we went through. I educated you on various videos over the past few years about how to calculate all these numbers, and I'm not going to spend too much time educating you, but I have to go through this presentation rather quickly if you wish to have a full understanding of how to, use these numerical formulas. Then I will send you a video that will provide very thorough, detailed explanation. But this property in Buffalo, okay? Now, you asking me like how can you finance a $51,000 single family home property? Well, in Buffalo, you can, and because of the power of our network, we have a loan agent who's been working with us for many, many years, Richard Atmani from Wells Fargo, who is willing to do the small loans, in which 99.9% of the loan agents out there in the US are not willing to do so because the loan amount is too small, and those loan agents, most of them do not make money. So therefore, why would Richard Atmani is willing to do financing on this Buffalo property only worth $51,000, and the loan amount is only, as you can see, the loan amount is only like $38,000? Well, his answer to you is he does so much volume. His large staff that he has, because he knows out of state investors. He worked with many real estate investment clubs, right? So he can do volume. It's an economy of scale kind of business for him. So he's willing to do that. So, all right, just consider yourself very, very blessed and very, very lucky that our network, the Year Real Estate Network, have this team of professionals that does not exist anywhere in the country that can do this kind of transactions for you. But needless to say, in Buffalo, you property does appraise pretty much correctly, and you will be able to get financing at 25% down payment on this particular property. You can see the numbers, right? Staggering numerical formulas. Yeah. So anyway, so imagine you put in your total down payment, including, I believe, your closing costs, right? Yeah, it does. Less than 15 grand. So your out-of-pocket risk 15 grand Like I said, I earned that money within a week easily. I don't know about you guys, but then you'll trigger a annual net cash flow of 5,400. Look at the numbers, right? Monthly net cash flow is $456 on this property. Oh, so you put in 15 grand, you earn 5471 annually net, and I have not even including the 1% appreciation. Anyway, the return on investment is like 15.6% cap rate, right? If you add on the 2% projection appreciation for the first year, and your total return on your investment is a whopping 44%. Okay? Do I rest my case? Yes, I rest my case. Oh my goodness. And finally, well, finally, what do you mean finally? All right, so second and final scenario. Okay, we've been promoting, using the name of your IRA to buy rental properties for a number of years. And I have worked with uh, quite a few of investors over the years to help them use their IRAs to buy rental property. Okay, which very very few people in the country and in the world knows about using IRA to buy real estate except me, Si Wen Yi. Okay, all right. Not only even if you learn about having the IRA, using the IRA to buy real estate, some of you are thinking, oh, I need to put dollar for dollar, right? No, wrong. You don't have to put you don't have to pay all IRA cash to buy the property. For example, if you want to buy a property for 200,000, a rental property, you do not need $200,000 of IRA. All you need is a minimal 40% down. Okay, I'll tell you the details. Okay, I'm gonna spare you the details. If you want more, if you watch this video, if you look at this newsletter, just contact me and I'll walk you through the process and I'll educate you a little bit more for a few more minutes. Okay, it doesn't take years to educate you, for God's sake. Okay, it's all about taking action. All right, so if you want to buy a $91,000 duplex in Buffalo, for example, I'm just giving you an example. You can do 40% down, 40% down of 91,000 is around $40,000 of IRA, right? If you buy this property, which this property really exists as of today in Buffalo, maybe by tomorrow it's gone. I don't know, but I'm using this as an illustration. Okay, 1.5% rent to value ratio, cap rate is 10.2%, 40% cash on cash return. So you're using your leverage through your IRA. You put 40% down payment on the IRA. Okay, you can click on this and learn more about the number crunching. Okay, and then use a 60% non-recourse loan. It is that simple. All right. So why is that? Because if you contact this individual, Jason Zook from North American Savings Bank, I believe he's the only bank that can do a non-recourse loan in an entire country that can leverage by IRA. Understand? Okay, hopefully I'm not confusing you. This, to me, this is a very simple explanation. Okay, because you have to go through the underwriting, just like a loan. This non-recourse lender you cannot get at your local bank, for God's sake, just through this very specialized lender, North American Savings Bank. They are the only one, to my knowledge, all these years of doing my business, willing to do a non-recourse loan leveraged by the IRA. So with a $40,000 IRA, you can get like $51,000 of non-recourse lending at 5.5%, whatever, pretty decent. Okay, so you not only you leveraging your money 15 grand to buy a $51,000 property, right, in Buffalo or wherever else, using conventional financing, but you can use the name of a IRA with $40,000 down to buy a $91,000 property in the name of the IRA. Okay, so I'm just giving you some high level, big picture illustration, the power of using leverage, using conventional financing with your own cash under your name to buy a property under your name, and using the name of the IRA. If both of the strategies available to you, You can reach your goal of 10, 10, 10, 1 by 10 rental properties, retire in 10 years, achieving $10,000 of net monthly passive income with no mortgages, and then with $1 million in net equity, right? This formula is not written in stone. It's an approximate strategy. Many of my investors have accomplished this goal, including yours truly. All right. It's very much doable if you follow the plan, if you stick to it, if you're focused, if you're disciplined, if you're motivated, if you're serious, if you, whatever, all the mental attributes of a successful investor. Okay, again, if you want to learn more about this numerical formula, please contact me and I'll send you the video and the newsletter in detail of how this 10-10-10-1, which is my trademark formula that I created on my own without any assistance. Okay. Whew. All right. So finally, if you do conventional financing, of course, Mr. Richard Avani, the fact that he works for Wells Fargo is irrelevant. Don't think, oh, I have bad experience with Wells Fargo. But he's just using the Wells Fargo name. He has to put his loan agent with a company. But whatever Wells Fargo, good or bad experience with you have with the other branch of the Wells Fargo, that have nothing to do with him. He's just a loan agent who does out-of-state investment loans. That's all he does. All right. So Richard Avani provide great value for conventional lending and approval. That's your first step before you buy any properties, of course. But if you are going to use your IRA to purchase any property, you need at least 40% down with IRA, and which is, you contact Mr. Brian Davis. He will help you roll over your traditional IRA or roll over your previous employer 401k into a so-called self-directed IRA, so you could use that IRA's name to buy real estate. Okay, it's that simple. And of course, clearly, I highly recommend you to contact Jason Zook to get the non-recourse loan to leverage your IRA. But the minimum loan amount is $51,000. Just so you know, the minimum non-recourse loan is $51,000, and the minimum down payment on your IRA is 40%. So therefore, if you do the calculation correctly, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. The minimum purchase price is around $88,000, $90,000, whatever, right? To make this work. Understand? All right, I want you to digest what I just said. If the minimum non-recourse loan amount is $50,000 according to the underwriting requirement of Mr. Zook's company, North American Savings Bank, for the non-recourse loan, and the minimum down payment is 40%, which IRA, then the minimum purchase price is around $90,000 or more. So if you want to buy $200,000 investment property at 40% down, just do the math. 40% multiplied by 200,000, you need at least $80,000 of self-directed IRA to purchase this 200,000 property, and then the non-recourse lender will ask you to provide an extra 10% IRA reserves, right, to factor in vacancies and maintenance, upkeep, all those kind of things. So you need a little bit more than 40%, right? But with the 10% reserve, if you will, IRA. But the 10% reserve could come from even your 401k, as a safety reserve for the underwriting requirement for this non-recourse lender. Okay, get it? All right, so I'm just giving you a high-level explanation, the power of using leverage to accelerate retirement using the method I just showed you. All right? So, and of course, ultimately the goal is, your early retirement using, your 10-10-10-1 approach. Okay, thank you so much. Hopefully this is high level, presumably simple explanation is helping you to trigger, your motivation and your inspiration to use the power of real estate, turnkey real estate investing property to achieve financial freedom for yourself and your family. Okay, thank you so much for your time. That's all I have. This is Xie Wing Yi. I look forward to talking to you. Please consult with me as the first step to your long journey toward financial freedom. Thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day.